Hey, how you doing? I wanted to try to get this one on film. I've been trying to figure out how am I gonna fit this recipe into my busy Christmas schedule, but I really wanted it to get it on film. So what it is, it's originally known to be a Swiss cookie. So when I was searching on the internet, it said it was created in the Swiss village of Meringue, Meringen, Meringue. So this is a Swiss cookie according to my mild research on the subject. But anyways, what it is going to have a little bit of a Filipino twist to it by adding ube extract. So it's going to be ube meringue cookies. And it's so delicious. I already had some. It tastes to me like cotton candy. So I'm excited to go ahead and try to film it this time and make sure that I share it with the world to also enjoy. So this is how the recipe goes. 4 egg whites. So I got my egg whites separated here, and they're supposed to be at room temperature, okay? So if you know you're gonna make it, just take it out maybe an hour or two before you actually start on your cookies. And 4 egg whites. 1/2 teaspoon cream of tartar. So this is what it is, cream of tartar. And don't ask me what is it made from. I have no idea. I just know that this is a star ingredient of the meringue. Without this, it won't form what it's supposed to do. So cream of tartar, 1/2 teaspoon. 1/8 teaspoon salt. So I got my house stock of salt here. 1 cup of sugar. So here is my house sugar right here. And then I already tried this with ube extract, and I tried it with 1 teaspoon. So I'm gonna try it to make it a little bit darker and a little bit more flavor of ube into it. So I'm gonna put in 2 teaspoons of ube extract. So wish us luck. So this is the ube extract here, okay? I got this from the Filipino market. So this is by McCormick. So this is the other star ingredient for this meringue cookie. The trick about this, it cannot be cold. So you definitely have to have it at room temp. And also, by working with this previously, by making other ube extract cookies and such, or let's see, like macaroons, or what else ube do I make, Kai? But anyways, I have noticed that it can ruin things if this is cold. So this is at room temp, and then I actually microwaved it for 15 seconds. I loosened the cap a little bit and microwaved it for 15 seconds. There's something about when this hits another ingredient, if it's cold, it make the ingredient kind of clump up. So actually it has done that several times with my white chocolate macadamia or cashew clusters. So next time I try to make that, I always make sure that I have this at room temp plus about 15 seconds in the microwave. Okay, so that's a little tip there. All right, so we're gonna start mixing. So here is my bowl. And then I'm gonna go ahead and face it towards you. Okay, 4 egg whites. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in my 4 egg whites. Okay, and then 1/2 teaspoon cream of tartar. Okay, so I'm gonna do 1/2 teaspoon cream of tartar. All right, so it's a pure white powder. So 1/2 teaspoon going right in. Kind of sift it in. 1/8 teaspoon salt. Teaspoon salt. And I'm going to mix that for about a minute, and then I'm going to be putting the sugar in. Okay, so I'm going to need some extra help. Helper! Calling for help. Be on standby. My helper friend here is going to be putting in the sugar when I'm ready for it. So I'm gonna mix these ingredients, the 4 egg whites, the 1/2 teaspoon cream of tartar, the 1/8 teaspoon salt for about a minute, okay? So here it goes. I'm gonna mix it on low until it gets frothy. Okay. Waiting for it to get frothy. Okay, it's kind of frothing up. A little bit more time here. So you could probably see a little bit in the camera, getting a little bit frothy. So it's been about a minute. All right, so here it is. Kind of get a close-up of it right there, frothy. So this is the next tricky part, and I have a helper here. You're gonna see his little hand in the video, but you're gonna take that 1 cup of sugar, and you're gonna add about a tablespoon at a time into the batter when I'm mixing it on high. So I'm gonna have you count, Kai, you don't have to count out loud, but like every 10 seconds, just go ahead and add 1 tablespoon, yeah? All right, follow instructions. Okay, here we go. And our objective to this is to form stiff peaks. And you'll see as it's going along, it's gonna start forming. Okay, so this, we have to mix that high. All right, so kind of when you do it, go like this, okay? Ready?
Do I add it right when you start?
You can add it, yeah. I'm gonna turn it on, then you can start adding it. Okay, here we go. tablespoon of sugar here. And you could already see by the batter, it's already forming stiff peaks. So we've got to do our last batch of sugar, okay? So this is where it's a little bit tricky. I'm gonna go ahead and put the ube where I can. Okay, so 2 teaspoons, and then I'm gonna quickly mix the last spin. Okay, so this is what I want my batter to look like. That is a super super stiff peak. Isn't that just the most beautiful thing that you have ever seen? That is just super. It's like a ube mountain, and that is what we want. So this is a good looking stiff peak batter for my ube meringue. All right, so we're gonna set up. Okay. We are now set up for putting the batter into the piping bag. So I'm gonna have this right here. You're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it down again. Okay, and then this is my piping bag, a makeshift piping bag. I had a Ziploc, thick Ziploc here, and then I put in the tip. So this is the tip. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the tip I want to use today. Okay, there you go. And it's just a little bit more decorative than other tips. And that's the tip I want to use today to add better decoration. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add the Ziploc into this tall glass. I'm going to fold it over, and then I'm going to start slowly adding the batter. Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm going to start slowly adding the batter into the Ziploc. Just like that. Okay, this is going to be super, super messy. This is hardly ever clean. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that, and I will use the rest of the batter later. And so this one will probably make about 50 meringue small to medium cookies. Okay, so here we go. So you need to get that piece of metal down to the bottom of the bag. Okay, so make that tight. All right, and then we're going to start piping. So I'm going to try to be delicate with this to try to achieve what I want to achieve. Okay, here we go. Move everything out of the way, and then I'm going to go ahead and spray down the pan here, and then you'll start seeing me pipe the cookie. Here we go. So that one's more of a tall one. I'm going to see if I could make a bigger one and tall. Okay, so yeah, that one's more of a bigger and tall one. Let me see if I could make one a little bit tall there. So these are coming out all different kinds of ways. I'm just going to try to figure out which one is the prettier one. Okay, that one's really pretty. Okay, so I think to make it easy, we're just gonna do ones like this. Maybe we can make it like this. That one's a little bit tall, a little bit pretty. That one's pretty. Let me see. So let's kind of move it around like like you're drawing a flower, and then put a little bit at the top. So that's kind of pretty. Let me try a traditional looking one again. That one's cute. Let me see. Let's try a few traditional looking ones where you just kind of pipe it straight out of the bag onto the sheet without moving it around too much. Okay, let's see if we can do something more decorative. One's kind of pretty. Do a few more traditional ones. And these are holding their peaks well. And this is what I wanted to achieve, so that it just kind of holds its peaks. So they're kind of looking like a little bit like curly Hershey's Kisses. Okay, so probably it looks like if you could just kind of start right here. So if you see me, let me move it closer to you. If you see me, if you start and then you kind of move it around in the right manner, like clockwise, then it kind of is actually decorated, like a decorated kiss, Hershey's Kiss. So start and go clockwise. There you go. So it's actually more decorated than if you were to just go straight down. So it looks like a curly Hershey's Kiss. And these can kind of be close together because they don't go anywhere. They're staying in their peaks like I want them to. And it does help that right now in Cali, the weather is nice. It's about 65 and 70. And so if you try to do this in my house during the summer, everything would just melt. And I would have flat meringue cookies. So it's perfect timing. Okay, so let me see if I can bring it up close to you and you see me do one. So pour it out counterclockwise and then leave a tip. So pour it out counterclockwise and leave a tip. I could do another one here. Okay. Counterclockwise, leave a tip. Again, counterclockwise, leave a tip. Okay, here's another spot that you can show you. Counterclockwise, leave a tip. Counterclockwise, leave a tip. Counterclockwise, leave a tip. Do a few more and then gotta get these in the oven. so you got the idea of that. So doesn't that look pretty? They're not in a straight line, but they don't need to be in a straight line to cook. But there you go. I would say, gosh, I would say that's about 50 pieces. So I think that this particular recipe, you might be able to get up to maybe 75 pieces of these good things that taste like cotton candy. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a preheated oven at 225 for about an hour. And then after that, I'm going to turn off the oven and let them, quote unquote, cool in the oven for another 30 minutes. So I'll see you in an hour and 30 minutes. All right. So here we are an hour and a half later with the final product of my Swiss meringue cookies, twisted up and made Filipino style by adding ube extract. So I'm gonna call them Ube Meringue cookies. And it turned out better than I expected by adding the ube extract. I added 2 teaspoons of ube extract, and as I was stating earlier, warming it up after it's at room temperature for about 15 seconds really helped keep the batter to be stiff. And that's what's so important about this batter. You want stiff peaks after mixing in all that sugar. So you saw me mix in all that sugar with my little helper about every 10 seconds. He put in about a tablespoon of sugar up to 1 cup of sugar, and it came out successful. So here we are. I'm going to show you the final product. So it's nice because I have a double oven, and I was able to make 2 trays worth of ube meringue. And here is my first tray. Doesn't that look nice? And here is my second tray. So I'm going to pick out some really pretty ones and show you here. So I cooked that about 225 for about an hour. And then after that hour was done, I turned off both ovens and then cooled them down in the oven. That just gave it like an extra flash of heat for about 30 seconds while the oven is off, so that they could form much, much better. And this is the final product. Okay, so you saw me kind of do like a flower one. So this is my flower one here. It turned out really pretty. I didn't expect it to be this pretty, but it's super stiff. But the nice thing about these, yes, they're super stiff, but once you bite into them, it melts in your mouth like cotton candy, and they're so yummy. So that's one really pretty one. Here is a really nice one. It looks like a Hershey's Kiss. The tip didn't melt, so that's a high tip one. Okay, so here is very similar ones right here. So the technique was kind of rolling them around in a clockwise fashion. Let me get another glove here. And rolling them around in a clockwise fashion. And they look like really decorated Hershey's Kisses. So isn't that really cute? So let me see if I got any other ones. So here, and they're all different kinds of sizes. They won't come out perfectly each time. Okay, they won't be the perfect exact size each time. So you saw that you have to have a steady hand when you pipe these onto the tray. All right. So let's see if we have something that looks a little bit different. Here's one that looks like the first one, kind of looks like a flower. Okay. And then let me get my other tray. All right. Let's see. So these are super decorated ones. Okay, so more of that kind of curvy look to it, and then a sharp tip. Let's try to get a sharper look at it. There you go. So it has a curvy look to it. Here are some fun ones, okay? So since I've cooked this before, I felt okay to go ahead and pipe them into the tray and then try to sprinkle some sugar sprinkles on them. And well, the ones that I already had were silver. So here you can see it. Let me see if I can try to get you a really clear picture of it. See the sprinkles on that. Okay, let's see if I can get you to kind of see the sprinkles on this. And the sprinkles didn't melt. They stayed on the top. I was thinking that they were going to melt and bleed into the meringue cookie, but it didn't. It just kind of just stayed on top. So it was definitely a stiff meringue batter, just exactly what we wanted it to be like. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Okay, so just a few more that are extra decorated. This is a little bit bigger and a little bit more swirly. So these are the bottoms. Okay, that's what it looks like. This is a kind of one of the bigger ones, a little bit more swirly, a wider base than the other ones that look like kisses. I'll eat that one later. Okay, and then these have the stiffer tops that, wow, very pointy top. It didn't even budge once. So this is kind of like what we like, something highly decorated. Okay, so just a few more. All right, and these will look so cute in a little giveaway bag. So I might go ahead and bag one up to show you how it looks. You know, I wanted to show you, so that was with this little pipette right here. Those were made with that. And they're highly decorated, lots of ridges in them. I'm going to show you one we did earlier, and this is my daughter's that we did earlier. So she actually taught me how to make these. We looked up the recipe and she's actually made it before. And so what we chose for hers was a wider tip. So the wider tip ones, so if you see the difference, it's a big difference on the tip size. They came out more looking like cookies. So if you like the meringue that looks like an actual cookie, that you definitely would want the wider tip ones. And so these have a wide base like a sugar cookie. Okay. So, and we use the same exact recipe. So I'm going to show you what we got from making them wider based. We still got quite a few. All right, and this is with 1 teaspoon of ube extract. So let's get a color. Okay, so this is 1 teaspoon of ube extract, and this is 2 teaspoons of ube extract. So yes, I could tell a difference in the color. This is a 1 teaspoon and this is a 2 teaspoons. The 2 teaspoons is just a tad bit darker. So if you want to be brave and add 3 teaspoons of ube extract to the batter, you could do that too. And I'll bet that your meringue cookies will be even darker. So these are more of like a lavender color. So ube, traditional ube cookies and such are a little bit darker than lavender, okay? So this is all of the ones that my daughter made from the 1 teaspoon of ube extract for the first batch that we made this morning. And I would say that's quite a lot. So I'm gonna bag up one in front of you. These are gonna be Christmas giveaways. And so people will be excited when I share this with them. Okay, so I got my little baggie here. I'm going to go ahead and add and there you go. Let me get my tie. And here you go, ready to distribute for Christmas. And this is not just for Christmas. This is just a kind of a special video that I'm trying to end 2020 with all my delicious treats and some of the top treats that I know how to cook. So this is, I think, my 197th video. So half and half. Half are healthy protein stuff and half of the videos are this goodie stuff that I just love to make and pass out to friends and family and give as gifts. All right, so I hope that you try to make this one day and it turns out the way that you like it. Just remember all the kind of like tips that I have given you during the video so that you could be successful too. All right, take care.